So what did you miss at Jubilee today? Wow, you missed a full house. You missed a welcome back Sunday I don't remember. It was fabulous. We had a fantastic lunch barbecue afterwards, and we sat outside and we sat inside and we talked with friends and neighbors and we talked with strangers and we felt like community. But that table was only a small part of what we experienced earlier when we came to the Lord's table. We had communion today. We celebrated communion. Communion for all those who are lost and those who are found, those who are searching. We started the day listening to Luke's Gospel, chapter 15, first 10 verses, as I recall. The parable of the lost sheep, the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one lost, and the woman who looks for the coin, turns her house upside down looking for that one coin. Even if she has 9, she looks for that lost coin, that coin that she needs. So in the face of that, I had the children help me, and they pretended to be sheep, and I pretended to be a shepherd, and I moved them through the congregation, and we ran, and we sat, and we bade, and then I went and found our lost sheep, who happened to be a good, strong, solid, athletic young man, who I then picked up on my shoulders. Yes, I did, and I carried him. And I carried him and put him together with the other sheep. And having seen it and experienced it and played it, we then talked to each other about it. We didn't write things on a board. I didn't collect answers from people. We just shared with each other what we were thinking about as we engaged in that story. Whether we felt like the one or the 99 or the shepherd or a neighbor looking on wondering what in the heck's going on. Throughout the service, Janine had been out looking for our chalice. We had our communion set ready to go, but we were missing our much prized pottery chalice made for us by one of our members. It's a beautiful piece, but we didn't have it. And Janine came back with a wine glass, and she came back with a coffee cup. She came back with a Tim Hortons cup. All through the service, she kept showing up with another cup until finally she found the one that we needed to make our communion table what we wanted it to be. And so then we talked to each other about what it is we're looking for. What is that thing that brings us to church? What is that thing that brings us to Jubilee? What is the thing we're looking for today? What is the thing we're looking for anytime? And people talked to each other and they spoke out loud. And Anne and I shared some of the things that we think are important to us as a community. That we reach out to the young, to children and to youth, which is why we have shush-free services now, why we have junior youth group and senior youth group, and why we have events for young people to be heard and their gifts to be welcomed and engaged. We talked about the importance of community, what takes us through bridge to Bible study and theology talking groups and theology on tap and pubs and all the different things we do to gather so that we can share. And people talked about what brought them that day. One person was here today really anxious about going to a new school and feeling disconnected. She came today looking for connection and assurance and hope. People talked about all sorts of different things. And I know that in the silence of our hearts, we talked about other things as well. And we recognize that the things we're looking for are also gifts when we dare to share them in community. When we open ourselves up and say, I am looking for this, will you help me? We create community. We offer a gift because we invite people to respond and to share their gifts. And as we do this together and we do this with God, we suddenly find ourselves around a table big enough for all of creation. A table for the insiders and the outsiders, for the cheering and the victorious and the hurting and the vanquished. The people who think of themselves always as winners and the ones who can't imagine themselves as anything other than losers. When we dare to share with each other all that we have, when we embrace each other, we become that community that God envisions, that Jesus envisions when he invited us to the table. So we shared that table and reaffirmed ourselves as community. And that's how we go out into the world, as community, together, not always agreeing, not thinking the same things or even saying the same things, but trusting each other with our gifts and our needs, our hopes and our dreams. That's what we shared and celebrated at Jubilee today. That's what you missed, but hopefully we won't miss you next week or the week after. We'd love to see you soon, because we want your gifts. Till we see you again, God bless.